Picture this. You're sitting on the toilet right now. Okay, maybe not right now, but you know the routine. The door is locked. Your phone is in your hand. Soft toilet paper right within reach. Total privacy. It's the one moment of the day that is completely, sacredly yours. Now travel back 2,000 years to the most powerful empire on Earth. Because in ancient Rome, going to the toilet was the exact opposite of private. And honestly, it's so much weirder than you think. In a Roman city, when you needed to go, you headed to a public latrine. And these were not little stalls. Picture a long stone bench lined with rows of holes, all in one big open room. No walls, no doors, no dividers of any kind. You would sit down right next to a complete stranger, shoulder to shoulder. Sometimes 20, 50, even 60 people at once, all doing their business in the same room. And nobody thought it was strange. People chatted. They made business deals. They caught up on gossip. The public toilet was basically a social club. With a smell. But here is where it gets rough. The Romans did not have toilet paper. So what did they use? A sponge on a stick. It was called a tersorium, a natural sea sponge tied to the end of a wooden handle, which you would reach down and use to clean yourself up. And now the part that makes everyone wince. That sponge was shared. There was usually just one, maybe a few, for the entire latrine. When you finished, you rinsed it in a little channel of running water at your feet and passed it to the next person. Yeah, everyone used the same sponge. The Roman writer Seneca even tells the story of a gladiator who, instead of dying in the arena, grabbed the toilet sponge stick and used it to end his own life. He would rather die than fight, with the one tool every latrine had. So the Romans clearly were not shy about toilets. But here is the strange twist. They were also absolutely terrified of them. Why would anyone be scared of a toilet? Well, they had good reasons. Romans believed latrines were haunted. Demons of the underworld, they thought, lived down in the darkness below the seats. So people painted images of Fortuna, the goddess of luck, on the latrine walls to protect themselves. Some carved magic spells to keep the demons away, while they sat, exposed, over a black hole. And the fear was not crazy, because those holes connected straight to the sewers, and the sewers were full of methane gas. Every now and then, the gas would ignite, and a ball of flame would literally shoot up out of the toilet hole. Imagine sitting down, relaxed, and a fireball erupts right beneath you. It got worse. Rats, snakes, and other creatures crawled up through the very same holes and could bite you in places you really do not want to be bitten. So when a Roman sat down and whispered a prayer to a goddess, they meant it. But all of that waste had to go somewhere. And this is where Rome was genuinely centuries ahead of everyone else. Beneath the city ran the Cloaca Maxima, the greatest sewer. One of the oldest sewage systems on the entire planet, built more than 2,500 years ago. It was so important that the Romans gave it its own goddess, Cloacina, the goddess of the sewer. They literally worshipped their plumbing. But the strangest part of Roman bathroom life was not what came out the back. It was what they did with the pee. To a Roman, urine was valuable. They collected it in big pots on street corners, and people actually paid for it. Laundry workers soaked dirty togas in it because the ammonia in old urine bleached the fabric brilliant white. That spotless white toga? Cleaned in a vat of pee. And it gets better. Some Romans brushed their teeth with it. They believed urine whitened your smile, and the people with the brightest teeth supposedly imported the best urine all the way from Spain. Pee was so profitable that the Emperor Vespasian put a tax on it. When his own son complained that taxing urine was disgusting, Vespasian held up a gold coin, asked him if it smelled bad, and said, "Pecunia non olet." Money does not stink. We still use that phrase today, 2,000 years later, and it started with a tax on pee. So the next time you lock the bathroom door, phone in hand, soft paper ready, remember this. For the people who built the roads, the aqueducts, and an empire that ruled the world, going to the toilet meant a shared sponge, a crowd of strangers, the risk of a fireball, and a prayer to a sewer goddess. So here is my question for you. If you had to choose, would you use a Roman public toilet for just one day? Sponge and all? Drop your answer in the comments, because I genuinely want to know who is brave enough. And if this made you grateful for toilet paper, you already know what to do.